Style It Up. Hello and welcome to Style It Up, where we take you inside the fashion world of New England. I'm your host, Althea Blackford, and we have a great show for you today, so let's get started. Online store US Trendy allows shoppers to shop and discover one-of-a-kind fashions from all over the world. Their global marketplace contains hundreds of thousands of unique items. With their platform, shoppers have an opinion and lets US Trendy know what types of fashion they want to see each season. I had the wonderful opportunity to sit down with CEO and founder Sam Sisahkti to talk about his company and working in the fashion industry. Let's take a look. Hi Sam, how are you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, good. So tell me about US Trendy.
Okay. So US Trendy, it's actually the world's largest independent fashion website.
Okay.
We have about 17,000 fashion designers that use our site to essentially reach customers with their products. So any designer in the world can come right on the site, open up a store, and start selling. It's great because they're able to reach millions of consumers. We're getting 1 million visitors a month to the website.
Wow.
And then actually some of our designers are actually doing $1 million a year of sales off our site as well. So it's kind of a neat process. We kind of serve as a middleman, like bridging the gap between a customer and a designer.
Nice. So you actually have, I was looking at your website and everything, you have an interesting story of how your
how
website came back. Can you share with us your story?
It's an interesting story. It wasn't as interesting to live it. It was painful at times, but so I graduated from Brandeis, and then 2007-ish, and the economy was terrible.
Right.
And I ended up getting a job. I was like one of the few people in my friends that actually got a job, and it was in finance, and I just really did not like finance. So after 4 days, I actually resigned, and they didn't even believe I had quit. And they, so like a week later, they called me like, "Hey, this isn't funny. Like, come back in." I'm like, "No, I actually quit." So I didn't know what to do with myself, and like any young man, I just took a trip to Vegas just to kind of clear my head.
Right.
And when I was in Vegas, one of my friends from LA came to meet me, and he happened to be a fashion designer.
Okay.
So he shows up, he's got no money the whole trip, so he's like sleeping on my floor, eating the leftovers. I'm like bankrolling his whole trip. So he starts telling me like how hard it is as a designer to make it in the industry. So I thought, why don't I start a website to try to help designers reach consumers? And that was the like kind of the conception of the company.
That is really an interesting
So what
process.
happened in Vegas did not stay in Vegas.
Clearly not. It kind of it was a profitable.
Yeah, it was a profitable trip.
Who knew later on down in the future?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually kind of cool. So within your website, you have two divisions. There's the designer side, and then you have the fan side. Talk to me about the fans and how they actually have a voice on your website.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I felt strongly about initially was infusing the customer's voice into the process. One of the things that always bothered me about just like, retailers was that the select few people decided, what the trends were each season, what the lines were, the buyers. And so I always just thought it didn't make sense. You have all these great designers out there, so why not eradicate the select few that make the decisions and let the people decide, because they're the ones that spend all the money each season.
Right.
So we actually have the consumer's voice infused in, so we run competitions constantly through the site to decide what designers gain production, what designers we send to like London Fashion Week or other big opportunities, what designers we give other kind of cool opportunities to as well. So the consumers play a big part in it. We crowdsource a lot of stuff through our social networks. We got hundreds of thousands of followers, so we'll like crowdsource a couple designs to figure out what people like. So it's cool. It saves us, the time of trying the guesswork, right?
Right, to figure out, should we put this on?
I'm surprised no one else is doing it, really, to be honest.
Wait
but,
for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, oops, I just said this out loud, and now I have a competitor.
Yeah, I know.
Nice. Well, for the designer end of it, what's the criteria for a designer to be considered to be on your website? Is like, say you're now an emerging, like what do they need to be considered?
So initially there was absolutely no policy or anything in terms of like restrictions, because we wanted no filter.
Okay.
It sounded like a lot sexier than it really is, because then what happened was the customer wasn't protected. So we were having designers come on that didn't meet certain quality standards or shipping timeframes. So now we actually have a fielding process where we just kind of look through the designer, have a conversation, make sure that they're able to ship the products and have good quality and things like that. So we don't decide based off of your style necessarily, but more around your business practices. So that's really the only criteria to get on the site. You have to be like a reputable business. You have to make sure that you have stock as well as good quality. But other than that, anyone can come on and sell. Yeah.
So it's not really a hard process at all?
Not a hard process, as long as you're legit. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So I noticed that once on your website as well, which is a fabulous website as well, you won an award. Can you tell us about that?
The top 100 companies?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we won the top 100 private companies in America. It was a cool thing. I was one of the younger people there at the thing. And so we went down to California, and I think like thousands of companies we're in the running, and then we ended up being one of the top 100 private companies in America. So yeah,
That is amazing.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
Wow. So how did they like know about you to be
So,
considered?
so we have venture capital funding. So our investors, Draper Fisher's, other investors, they'd done like Skype and some big companies. So they nominated us. So
Oh,
you have to
nice.
be nominated by an institutional investor, and then from there, I went through like more like application process. I felt like I was like applying to a college, like just application processes, phone interviews, and then they
Really?
bring like the top 200, and then you present to I think like 200 executives, and then the executives decide what the 100 companies are. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So you also have the US Trendy list of like the most like top 25 fashionable people as well
you saw
too.
that, yeah, the top
So
50,
how do
yeah.
you do that? Like
Well,
who do you select as
that
like
was kind
yes?
of maybe you should be on it next year.
Yay.
It was kind of something that like people thought we put all this time into it. We
Right.
didn't. It got bigger than we thought it would. Like we didn't expect to be on the front cover of the Metro with it and all these kind of things. We
It
just
was a
were
big thing,
Yeah,
though.
we were just sitting in the office and just like, hey, it would be cool if because Boston always gets like such so much slack for being not a
Yes.
fashionable city and like on the worst dress list of GQ and all this kind of stuff. So we thought, hey, well, it would be cool to like kind of push back and create a most fashionable list. And then so we just kind of sat around the office and started putting together the list, and then we didn't think it was gonna get so much coverage. So it was kind of
Wow.
like a spur of the moment thing. Like I guess it kind of took off, so we're gonna have to do it again. So,
Yes, because it's like all eyes
but
are
the
on
scary
there.
thing is like sometimes you meet people that like were not on the list and like are upset about that. So it's like double-edged sword. But
So did you get a little backlash?
oh yeah,
from-
like some of the DJs from like Kiss 108 and things like that
Really?
were upset that they weren't on it. And so
Aw.
we had some good air coverage and some not so good air coverage. But hey, as long as you get some coverage.
Press is press. Hey,
Yeah,
it's all about
yeah.
how smart you are about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So how involved are you with the college scene with US Trendy?
Yeah, so really big because that's our target demo.
Okay.
Our 16 to 24-year-old females. So we're really big. Like we just did College Fashion Week.
Okay.
So there was 200 colleges, 4 major cities.
Wow.
We just did one in Boston. We actually partnered with her campus, which is like one of the largest online kind of lifestyle things for
Right,
college
yeah.
girls. So they were great to work with, and I also do a lot of speaking at colleges as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool to just give back because my whole idea and story was also inspired in a college classroom.
Okay.
I took an entrepreneurship class just to pad my GPA because I was doing so miserably in finance. I didn't,
Wow.
and then so like they would bring speakers, and then I see some of these young speakers in their young 20s starting companies, and that's what actually inspired me to start a company. So I figured, hey, like if I can try to inspire someone to look at me and be like, hey, he doesn't look that smart. So hey, if he could do it, I could do it, kind of.
So
Yeah.
from finance to fashion, that's
Yeah.
like an interesting, because some people don't like see that those two even can come together.
Yeah. Well, I think I was misplaced in finance. So
Aha.
I think I was always more into the entertainment side and the entrepreneur side.
So you haven't found your home yet when you were in
Yeah.
college.
So when I was in fashion, when I was in finance, I wasn't in my right place. So.
Gotcha. So what's next for US Trendy for the upcoming year?
Yeah, so we're actually in the process of launching a whole new site, which we're really excited about.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
we actually want to change the way people shop online because, like I said, we have 17,000 designers. So it can be a little overwhelming, like when you go to the site. So we're creating a personalized shopping tool. So if you came to the site, you would get a totally different site than someone else. So based off of your click patterns, your wish list, your order history, we're gonna customize the shopping experience. So like an Apple Genius, but to like times 100.
Wow.
So we're creating like just basically personalized shopping experiences. And that's
Nice.
the future.
So plug the website.
So it'sustrendy.com, or a lot of people sayustrendy.com. As
Yeah.
long as they're saying it, I don't care. It's maybe easy to remember. Soustrendy.com. We have a lot of great, items, good like holiday gifts, and a lot of great like New Year's dresses as well. So
Nice.
we're
Definitely.
gonna have to get you some as well. Yeah.
Yay, loving it. So thank you so much, Sam,
thanks
for
for having
coming
me.
through and chatting about US Trendy.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks.